Evening, I'm 5 News Chief Meteorologist Matt Standridge. We're watching showers and thunderstorms become more numerous across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Right now, you're taking a live look with our camera. I'm not sure if we can be able to get on here in a moment, but we're watching these storms come in from the north and west right now. Actually, from the southwest, they're headed north and east. All right, crew, are we ready? All right, we'll just go ahead and jump in this. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. You're not going to be able to see me, but you're able to watch. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings that have now been issued for Franklin County, Johnson County, and Logan County. We're watching this particularly strong storm right now come into Paris, and it's just left Boonville, Ozark, and Altus. We're really on the lookout for you because right now there's a lot of heavy rain and wind coming in from the southwest with this line. And so we'll be watching there right towards I-40 here shortly. There's also been some hail, mainly in the mountains in Scott County, but some of this hail could try to press towards Mount Magazine and Paris here in the next 30 to 45 minutes. That's why there's also a severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County. But the other threat right now is some of that wind that's coming into Ozark. So I know you guys can't see me. We're going to get that fixed here shortly as we can. But what we're looking at right now is just some slight rotation here just north of Roseville, north of Meg and Etna, right here. Let me go ahead and draw this because I know you guys can't see me on the green screen, but right here towards Ozark, we have a little bit of rotation, so we got to watch out for this. So if you're reading the text of the severe thunderstorm warning, it will say, you know, rotation possible, tornado possible, but it's very weak, but there is some rotation, so we've got to watch out for that. I'm going to show you what it kind of looks like on shear right now. This purple color tries to indicate where we have some of that rotation. Casey, are we able to get me on the green screen at all? I appreciate that. So we're watching some rotation right now approach the Arkansas River there towards Altus, Weederker Village, Webb City, and Ozark. Let me time this out for you guys. This storm is moving about 25 miles per hour towards the north and east. So if we time that out, this is coming right towards us in the Ozark area in Altus. I'll have to move it around to kind of hit Ozark. Ozark here in about 10 minutes. This storm will really start to impact you more towards Altus, about 7:11. Weederker Village, 7:12. So this is a pretty good storm coming in from Franklin County, headed right towards western Johnson County here eventually. It may start to, I'll expand on that a little bit more. It may hit Edna 7:32, but still Altus about 7:12. Coal Hill, we're kind of in the path as well. We're timing more 7:50 or 7:22. Hartman 7:28. The hail's back towards the south, though. If you can see some in here, that's about to cross from Scott County into Logan County. This is also moving pretty slow, just about 25 miles per hour. So when we time this out, I'm updating the speed here as well. We time this storm towards the north and east over time. This will be moving towards Grayson, 7:03, Corey Heights, 7:17, 7:18 for Magazine, 7:31 for Driggs, 7:40, 7:41-ish for Paris. So here in the next 40 minutes, we could try to be watching for some hail coming into Logan County. But this is a wide view of what's going on right now this evening. We've got still some of those good downpours. Once again, we're going to get this green screen activated in a moment. Right now, I've got the radar for you guys, but you're noticing the rain that's just continuing to come down in northwest, but it's not severe. It's just a good old-fashioned rain for us. The stronger thunderstorms continue to pour in the River Valley. You see that line of red that's coming right through Franklin County, just blown right through. We've got winds now approaching near 60 miles per hour, headed towards Ozark and Altus and Weederker Village. They're here within the next 10 minutes or so. Paris, we're watching just more heavy rain. We've got more of a hail threat coming into Paris here shortly. So there's really two parts of this storm where you start to see it kind of bend a little bit there in Franklin County is where we have the most rotation at this time. That rotation coming in towards Ozark. We're going to get some of our other crews ready here in a second. Okay, we're not going to be able to put the green screen up. We've got a couple technical difficulties, but you guys hopefully can still hear me, and we'll continue to show the radar. I'm going to get the rest of our live streams ready here as more folks are going to be hopping on. So just bear with me for a second. All right, that should be ready to go. Okay, let me back up. Let's talk about kind of a wide view, and then we'll really zoom in on the rotation, the wind threat, and where we also have some hail. This is a wide view. We've got several severe storms in Texas, but we're right on the edge. It looks like we got a new tornado warning east of Little Rock. That's not our area, so we'll watch it, but really we're watching here at home, where we're watching this nasty line come through Franklin County, Logan County, and Johnson County right now. Paris, we've got the heavy rain that's moving in as we speak. There's also a kind of another little band there right over the scenic byway, but then Franklin County is where honestly, where we have probably the largest concern, where there is some rotation reporting. I'll draw out some of that rotation. So let's talk about the rotation first, then we'll talk about wind, and then we'll talk about hail, because there's a lot of different aspects to this kind of storm. So we've got some rotation here coming into Ozark. We'll watch it. No tornado warning has been activated right now, but there is just some rotation with this storm, some circulation. But I tell you what, there are some good gusts, though, coming in right towards Meg right now. We've got gusts near 60 miles per hour. You see there's Meg right kind of below my line there, and Etna, but then also pressing north towards Roseville, Alix, Altus, Whitaker Village, Webb City, Ozark. We're about to just get hit now with those gusty winds, and right there along 64. I'll show you some of the winds, too. Looks like this severe thunderstorm warning is being trimmed just a bit, but where you see that bright red is where we have those gusty winds. So the wind threat now coming in just past Meg and Etna, but that wind is picking up there towards 64. So don't be surprised if some things start to kind of blow around a little bit in Ozark and Whitaker Village and Altus and Alix, and maybe even east towards Coal Hill too. We could get some gusty winds. And then Sutherland Crossroads, Watalula, we could get some wind as well. Edna eventually in Johnson County, we'll watch out for that wind too. All right, so let's also take a look at some of this hail, though. That's another threat back towards the south. We've been watching this little cell. There we go. All right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. We've been watching this hail cross in from Scott County, lifting north into Logan County. So east of Boonville, that's where we're going to be watching some of this hail. This is moving north towards Paris. This is very small hail. This is anywhere between pea-sized up to quarter-sized hail. So we're not talking about the massive hailstones like we had, some of these past storms so far this spring. The spring's been very haily, but we were watching this little hail pocket move northbound right towards Paris and Mount Magazine. So be on the lookout for that. But then the other threat, of course, is this wind. It also looks like we've got some more rotation there on the north side of Paris, crossing the Arkansas River, and we've got another rotation there in Ozark. So there's now kind of two rotations forming. This is what happens when you get a line of storms like this, and where they start to make these little kinks is where you have some of these rotations. But National Weather Service now continuing that severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County due to with a tornado possible tag. That just means there's some rotation. It's weak, but we have to watch it. I'll show you what it looks like right now with our shear tracker. You can see over time, we've got those two kind of forming. So we've got a shear pocket there, which rotation pocket. The purple just showing you some of that rotation coming right towards Ozark, especially the east side of town. Webb City, South Ozark coming right there over the bridge and the railroad tracks there as you're going right over, Lock and Dam Road. Also looking towards, this is all just east of Webb City. Sunny Rose Road there off of right there off as you're crossing the Arkansas River south of Ozark. But most of this should stay on the south and east side of Ozark, but we have to watch that rotation. There's also another rotation here in the Arkansas River bottoms there towards Gray Rock, Paris bottoms. Let's see what else. I'm going to expand something for me. So there's Gray Rock, Hogeye Bend Road, Short Mountain Road. This is now crossing the Arkansas River. This is headed into Johnson County and extreme southeastern Franklin County. So two rotations. Let's track each one individually. The first one headed towards Sutherland's Crossroads about 7:16 here in 10 minutes. But our first immediate threat is really for Ozark coming up, as it's just going to be on the southeast side of town. You can see right where that map is. And this will be headed north and east there, right in between Whitaker Village and Ozark on 64. This is crossing the Arkansas River, and then you head down the river just a little bit. Once you head towards Gray Rock there, as we get more of an east-west orientation. We also have this rotation there towards the Paris Bottoms Road and Kalamazoo Road there as you approach the river. This one's also moving north and east over time, so let's time this out. This one impacting more Johnson County, Coal Hill. Now these things can kind of move in their orientation, so that's why I'm kind of moving the scan, but we're in southwestern rural Johnson County, Hartman and Coal Hills, where this will be coming next as soon as it crosses the Arkansas River. Wide view again, watching these storms. Of course, we got severe thunderstorms in Franklin County. We've got one now coming into Johnson County. It's going to take us just maybe a couple more moments for it to cross the river into Johnson County. But in Clarksville, we kind of have some rain coming in first. You see this little band of rain? That's moving in north. And then the real storms back off towards the north and west. So the rain will start. The rain's already started right now in Lamar and Knoxville. And then we're next with the heavy bands back towards the west, crossing right over Paris and Mount Magazine. Boonville, we're starting to clear up for us. This is another look at some of the rotations. Now we have kind of 3 notches, to be honest. We've got this one little bit over Ozark. Got another notch there crossing the Arkansas River there right by Gray Rock. This is going to be headed north towards Hartman and west of Clarksville. I think these 2 storms should stay west of you guys in Clarksville. So specifically Clarksville, I think these 2 rotations go north. It looks like we've got a very weak kink here back towards the south. So this would be just south of Mount Magazine. We'll watch this, but I'll be honest, I think the more potent energy, or you have the brighter reds, there's a better push right now. What you're physically doing is pushing the air, and then on the edge is where you get that rotation. So we've got a push of air coming towards Whitaker Village, but the rotation's on the west side. And then in Paris, we just had that wind push on through, and on the north and west side is where we also have that rotation. But there's also been some hail. I'm going to bring up the hail again too. Looks like the latest scale kind of drops it off. You can see this is over the past 15 minutes. We had a brief hail pocket there right over the Boston Mountains, they're Ouachita's, Boston Mountains towards the north where this other storm's coming into. But right here in some of these ridges north and east of Waldron is where we had some of that hail. But that looks like it's weakening as it makes its journey north and east as well. So it looks like for now, mainly heavy rain for us. Most of it now clearing Scott County. Boonville, the heavy rain is ending for us, but now it's hitting our friends in Paris. Scranton and Subiaco, we'd be next with some of this heavy rain coming in, but there's these little notches that we don't like. And so that's where we have these rotations. I'll go ahead and zoom back in on some of the rotations once again. We'll start from south and go north. I'm reading from the National Weather Service really quick and kind of update. With some of these storms, even whether there's not the rotation strong enough to actually produce a tornado, there are some 60 mile per hour winds at times. So we're watching a rotation. Let me get my highlighter tool out. On the east side of Magazine, this is going to be moving north and east. Sorry, system's kind of slow today. All right, so tracking this storm out, Corley 724 is when this rotation's getting close. Subiaco 734, Shoal Creek 744, Morrison Bluff 751. Could eventually get close to Clarksville. Yeah, but that's still quite a bit of a ways out here in about 55 minutes. We'll have to see how this kind of evolves over time as these storms press north and east. They're getting into some cooler air, so as they do that, they are likely to weaken just a bit. But as they're pushing in the river valley right now, we haven't been touched a lot. And so that's why we have this threat going on. So, of course, we've got the rotation right there over Blue Mountain. There we go. A little better of a circle. And then another one near Coal Hill. This one starts, looks like it's kind of wrapping up on itself. This rotation also kind of headed north and east. Right over Coal Hill right now, but then Edna and Batson, we're next. You see the times are on the left. And then one more rotation, although this one's weakened a bit. That's good. Looks like that's headed north into Watalula. That's actually not severe warned anymore. Coming out of the warning, but we still have some good gusty winds right now. Ozark, Whitaker Village, Altus. Man, the rain is coming down big time for us too. You probably hear some thunder out there as well. I'll go back to the shear tracker. You see all these pockets. So you see the 3 pockets also showing up this way. Got that pocket over Ozark, some rotation to watch coming into Coal Hill, and then some rotation just west of Waveland there in southern, just outside of southern Logan County. I'm trying to get the name of the lake there. All right, so that's right over Blue Mountain Lake is where we have this other rotation. Also, I'll keep the circles there. But right over there, over the lake, Blue Mountain Lake, there's the Quarry Heights there. There's the Blue Mountain camping right there, the Waveland Park recreation area, the outlet recreation area, just even the metroplex, I guess you can call it, of Waveland there along Arkansas 10. And then just north is where you have Mount Magazine. So this Mount Magazine's right here. Magazine's so tall, it's kind of cutting into my line. That's Mount Magazine, so it's coming right towards Mount Magazine. So you guys over Mount Magazine right now, that's where we have our strongest storm here at the moment. All right, so back to kind of a wide view. Let's talk about this low pressure as it's moving in from the west. We've got several rounds for heavy rain and storms back towards our south and west. And so this isn't going to be the only line that we have this evening. We're watching this line come in from North Texas too. We'll have to see how potent that is. It's not warned at the moment, but it's a pretty good downpour right now. We'll watch that come in later. But right now our immediate threat is some gusty winds. We've got some 60-mile-per-hour winds now clearing over 64 and I-40 right now. Paris getting some of that wind. Clarksville, we're about to get some rain, but that wind is still another 20 to 30 minutes away. Same story in Knoxville and Lamar, although we're just cut off for Lamar and Knoxville on the warning. We'll see if that's extended back towards the east. But here in some of these notches is where we just have to continue to watch. If they wrap up any more, you can easily start to get at least a funnel cloud or a wall cloud. But we do have some general rotation in some of these kinks along this line. But this line indicates where we have this huge downpour coming in from the south and west. And on that leading edge, we have some 60-mile-per-hour winds. It just blew through Meg about 10 minutes ago. Etna as well, we had some of that wind coming now over Waveland and Blue Mountain Lake. Now it's coming over Mount Magazine too, is where we have that wind and that rain. Paris, we're just getting soaked right now. In Paris, we don't have as many of the rotation threats. The rotation's back towards the south, and it's going to be moving north and east, so I think it should bypass us in Paris. But they're towards Scranton and Subiaco. We'll have to watch this rotation in southern Logan County as it moves north and east. Back towards the west, though, Fort Smith, we're good. We've got light rain here and there. And we had our heavy rain earlier. We were watching during our newscast, but this whole line continues to press east, and the severe threats are always on that leading edge. And so once that leading edge pushes through, you're good. Fort Smith, we've just got light rain. We've got some moderate rain reporting in northwest Arkansas. We don't have any severe threats right now in Bentonville and Rogers and Springdale and Fayetteville. We're good. There towards Sallisaw. Say that again, Brittany. Sorry. Whatever. What do you guys think? What do you got on right now? Let's go ahead and jump on for maybe 3 minutes or so, and then if we can continue coverage, not go to black, but just keep on and for the digital streams, we'll do that. Okay. Well, sorry, you guys kind of see that. So what we're doing right now is we're about to cut on also onto Channel 5. We got severe thunderstorm warnings. We don't have any tornado warnings right now, but there is some rotation. Got to keep our eye on those. But man, it's coming down for us in the Eastern River Valley right now. And so here in just a couple of moments, we'll reset and we'll be live on Channel 5 here in a moment. So I may kind of pause here in a second, but for now, we'll just keep on going until our crew is ready. But still got those notches here in this line. We don't like notches because that's when you start to get rotations, but we've got very heavy rain coming in towards Clarksville. That whole line is pushing with those 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for Franklin County, although that's probably going to be expiring here in a moment. But Johnson County and Logan County is where we have the most wind right now. It looks like our hail threat keeps diminishing, so it looks like that's weakening. All right, so we are now live on Channel 5 and all our digital platforms. We're cutting in for just a moment. We want to give you an update on the severe thunderstorm that is pushing through the Eastern River Valley. This is not impacting Fort Smith, Van Buren, Poto, Sallisaw, but this is for Ozark and Clarksville and Paris and Subiaco and Scranton, mainly for Johnson County and Logan County. The warning in Franklin County is going to be here expired very shortly. But along this line, we have some really gusty winds. We've got 60-mile-per-hour winds that have just crossed 64 there towards Ozark and Whitaker Village. Now they're moving north and east towards Etna and Clarksville. We'll be getting some of those gusty winds here in about 15 to 20 minutes. So we still have a little bit of time. If you had something, maybe you got some new patio furniture, it might be a good idea to bring it in because there's some good wind coming with this. Although I think most of the wind should be from anywhere from downtown Clarksville back west along 64 and back west along I-40. You live towards Lamar and Knoxville, I think our push may be only getting 30 to 40-mile-per-hour winds, but that core of 60-mile-per-hour winds is now crossing over the Arkansas River, headed right there into Johnson County. Paris, the wind's going to be slowly dying down, but man, we've got some of that heavy rain coming on through. We're watching this whole line of very heavy downpours push throughout the Eastern River Valley. And the reason why we have these thunderstorm warnings out for two reasons. Number one, we've got 60-mile-per-hour winds. You have to have 58-mile-per-hour winds to become a severe thunderstorm. We've got 60, so we've met that criteria. The other thing that we've been potentially concerned about is that along this line we've got some rotation. So we'll watch those rotations as they press north and east. They're looking like they've been kind of falling apart. Every scan is different. You get a scan where it looks kind of warning a little bit, a little alarming, and then the next scan it weakens. Let me bring in just a little bit closer, and we'll watch some of this rotation right now. Okay, so earlier we had 3 rotations. We had one over Blue Mountain Lake there towards Waveland coming into Mount Magazine. And then we also have these 2 rotations that we're still watching. So we're watching these 2. They're moving north and east about 25 miles per hour. They're right along the Franklin and Johnson County lines. As I see storms press east, they're moving about 25. So I'm going to time these out. The first one's moving in the Boss Mountains quick. Let me redraw this. Hold on. First rotation, Batson, 736, 740 for Peanut, 750 there as you head into really northern Johnson County. And then we have the secondary rotation that's going to be more towards Coal Hill and Edna, Garber. But you see those times there, about 723 for Coal Hill. This is coming right in right now. But where you have that purple is where we have some rotation. So it's crossing 64 for the first one. Let's draw this out. There we go. That's better. Okay. Coal Hill, 720. 723 for Hartman. So 2 minutes for Coal Hill. Hartman, 723. 723 for West Side. I'm just showing you guys the rotation just because it's there. No tornado warning as of right now. You guys can comment below if you guys see anything. I'm going to bring up one of these cameras here in a moment. I believe I have... Now this is back towards the west a little bit. This is on the east side of Clarksville from Lamar, but I'm going to move. All these cameras are pointing east, so it's going to be hard to say. We're blown through in Ozark, though. Man, we had some heavy rain there in Ozark. Ignore the banner on the top. I know it says west of Clarksville, but I'm changing them, so that's going to change. But this is a live look from Clarksville looking eastbound into Clarksville. That rain picking up for us, too. Temperatures are a little bit warmer in the Eastern River Valley. That's why we have this severe threat still right now. You really need temperatures to be about 68 to 70 degrees in order to support storms. We're making bare minimum right now, but it's just enough to keep these storms alive. Severe thunderstorm warning still continues now for Johnson County. It looks like our biggest push right now is really coming into Clarksville with some of those gusty winds. But it looks like the rotations themselves are moving more north. So Clarksville, I'm not too worried about the rotation right now. I'm just worried about gusty winds coming in for you guys up to about 60 miles per hour. And then some wind coming into Lamar and Knoxville here shortly. Scranton and Subiaco, let's zoom in a little bit more on Logan County with some of this wind. Right where you see the brightest res is where we have the 60. So we're getting more, 40 mile per hour winds for Subiaco, Scranton, Shoal Creek, Delaware, Knoxville. We'll be getting the wind picking up for us. We just blew over Mount Magazine there towards Blue Mountain and Waveland. Corley, we just had the gusty winds pushing on through. These winds will continue to march north and east. Morrison Bluff, the wind's coming right at us. And Montana, Spadra, New Spadra, Clarksville, we're going to be getting some of that wind as well. But it's crossing I-40 there, just west of the 64 exit, Highway 64 exit there west of Clarksville. But the 2 notches, you guys can kind of see them too. See how it kind of gets a little bit crooked right there? Got 2 little crooks. One north and east of Ozark. Ozark, you're now in the clear. You got rain, but the severe threat is now over. The winds are going to slow down. You still probably hearing the thunder out there. There's a decent amount of thunder right now in Franklin County. But then in Johnson County, the wind's really picking up for us west of Clarksville. In Coal Hills, where we just kind of got blown through. Batson, the wind's going to be picking up for you guys. Anyone in the mountains, that wind's really going to pick up for us too. So the big, another threat we had earlier was hail, but you look at this hail tracker, you guys not really going to see much. So that's some good news. So what we'll probably go ahead and do, we're going to return it to CBS programming here in a moment. If you want to continue coverage with us, you can stay right with our YouTube channel, our app, and our website. We are live there. You guys can continue to watch. But for now, make sure you watch out these storms as they come into Johnson County and eastern Logan County. Clarksville, we're next. And then Subiaco, Scranton, we're also next. The rotations are a little bit weaker here at the moment. We'll jump right back in if they start to spin up a little bit more. But for now, this is a 60 mile per hour wind threat coming into Clarksville. Once again, if you want to keep with coverage coverage, just head to our app and our website and YouTube as well. Make sure you keep it local, keep it here, and as always, we'll keep you advised. All right, so we are still live right now on our platforms on digital. We're going to continue to watch the storm until the severe thunderstorm warning is dropped. Paris, we just got heavy rain for us. It looks like the southern edge, notice how it's a little bit kind of more splotchy. It's not as well defined on its leading edge. Wherever you see it go from gray to dark red really quickly, where you have we call it a tight gradient in meteorology, but where you have that big transition from nothing to a whole heck of a lot, that's where we have to really watch. And notice how sharp this edge is as we're coming into Johnson County. Most of the wind, though, is going to be on the west side of Clarksville. The strongest winds. But from downtown west, we've got maybe up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then as you head into, on the east side of Clarksville, as you're headed towards Lamar, Knoxville, the wind probably is not going to be as bad. But they're coming in Montana, Hinkle, Hartman. We have that wind. Woodland and Edna is where we're going to be really primarily focused on watching those really gusty winds. And Batson, you guys are going to be next as well. I'm going to pull up one of these cameras too. Yeah, let's see. If you guys are watching on 5 News, I'm going to activate, we call it a bug. We're going to put this bug back on. You guys can continue to watch the warning updates there. Once again, once these rotations start to spin up a little bit more, we'll hop right back onto Channel 5. But for now, we're just on our platforms. You can see that rotation tracker. The purple shows you where we have any kind of rotation in the atmosphere, any kind of spin. And earlier, we were watching these blotches that are probably maybe big as two of my fists together. So earlier, notice kind of the size difference. We're watching a better tight rotation. Right now, they've really fallen apart, but there's still some spin in the atmosphere. We'll watch them. It really looks like the southern one that was coming over Coal Hill. See that purple there? I know it's kind of hard to see with the terrain. That's really weakened off. This storm is starting to gust out where we're just getting some really good wind. But this is a closer look here towards Clarksville, mainly west of town along 64 and I-40 is where we have the strongest wind threat. We have even the heaviest rain and the most amount of lightning. We're still going to get soaked. In fact, we're already starting to get that rain in Clarksville, of course, but the main lines back towards the west. We've had some pop-ups over us in Clarksville momentarily. You see some of those Clarksville or some of those pop-ups on radar right now, but the severe thunderstorm warning continues, I believe, for the next 25 minutes. But we'll see how fast the storm really pushes on out of here. But right now, there's just a really good push of wind. Johnson County. Logan County are also included in a severe thunderstorm warning, but it looks like we're starting to fall things apart a little bit. And then as we look back towards the west, we have more cells now popping up in southern LaFleur County. Not sure how much they'll be able to really spin up because we just had this storm pass on through, so it's going to take us maybe a little time to recover, but we're watching some good downpours there west of Lake Worcester and west of Heavener. In northwest Arkansas, it's just light to moderate rain that's going to continue on and off for a while. We don't have to worry about severe threats for a while. And I say a while because we've got to keep our eyes back towards the south and west. Now I've expanded the view. We've got several more rounds for rain and thunderstorms, but most of these are going to really be impacting Texas. We're watching this line. This is a nasty one. It's not warned right now. Boy, it's a lot of heavy rain and some winds. I was registering earlier about 20, 30 minutes ago, so I hadn't got the recent update, but these winds were closer to 40 to 50 miles per hour, so they're not warned at the moment, but that could change. This would be our next complex. Look how they're just marching north and east. Eventually, we may get in on some of those. So when the rain ends for you, guess what? We've got more heavy rain tonight. So we're just getting soaked tonight. You know, you're maybe asking, hey, I only got a couple raindrops at my house. Well, this line is finally pushing on through to really soak us. Everyone's gotten some rain now. Although in Scranton and Subiaco, we're close. We haven't had a lot of rain today, but that's about to change. And then, of course, as we get more of those bands back towards Texas, we'll get even more rain overnight tonight. National Weather Service continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County and Logan County just because of these wind gusts pushing on through. I'm going to step off for just a moment, see if I can read anything that's new about this text coming in right now. But this is activated until, you're going to see a highlight. Severe thunderstorm warning continues to 7:45 due to 60-mile-per-hour winds and possibly up to penny-sized hail. In some of the heaviest rain pockets, there may be some tiny hail, usually not enough with penny-sized hail, and that's the maximum. Penny-sized hail usually doesn't do much in terms of damage, but it definitely kind of catches you off guard, think, it's hailing, that kind of thing. But damage stress will be low. It's really just that gusty wind threat that we're watching right now. I'm going to pull up the velocity We're still watching that good push. It looks like the strongest wind is right here on the leading edge. But a lot of this is headed north. So Clarksville is going to get picked up here in a bit, but I think the core of the wind is going to be more towards Woodland at 7:30, 7:33 in Batson, Martin Springs 7:43, Catalpa 7:48, and the Gillian sediment that's really close. The Strawberry Bluffs here about 7:50 or so. So here in about 20 to 30 minutes, this thing's going to be moving north. But for Clarksville, man, it's good rain, really good rain. We'll let you guys know if there's any kind of tornado warning that's issued. Right now, it's kind of messy. You see these little notches. Rather be completely straight on from a velocity standpoint, because once you start getting these notches, that's when you start to rotate things. But we'll watch for that. It looks like back towards the south, we don't have as much going on for Logan County for rotation-wise. In fact, I'll turn on the shear tracker. That's the rotation tracker. Notice how do you see any purple? I don't. I mean, you see maybe, I think that's a random pocket just showing up on radar there. That's south into Danville and Belleville and Havana. Our main two pockets of rotation have been off towards the north and western Johnson County. So Batson, there'll be some rotating weather headed towards you. When we say rotation, that doesn't automatically mean tornado. To be honest, most really healthy thunderstorms rotate. It just helps them survive. In fact, rotation helps keep their structure a little bit better. The problem is, it's just when they rotate enough that their structure gets really nice, and then they decide to produce a tornado. That's kind of how that works. But there is usually at least some rotation, and we've got some. It's weak, so it's just something that we have to watch. But these latest scans show just very light rotation now, clearing Clarksville. Clarksville, I'm not worried about the rotation for us. What I'm more worried about is just, man, that's some good heavy rain coming in right now. And some rumbles of lightning, but it looks like the lightning has really kind of downtrended just a little bit for Johnson County and eastern Logan County. The pocket of lightning is more towards Watalula and Batson. You see those little lightning strikes? Those are crossing or basically just hugging right along the Johnson County, Franklin County line headed northbound. But once again, severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County and Logan County until 7:45. That's here for just 15 more minutes. I'm going to take you live outside with a view from the sky. Let me change this banner because you're actually looking east now. This is one I had earlier. I'm just going to put live. How about that? Yeah. I'll just tell you where it is. How about that? All right, so now you're looking live. Pause on me. You're looking live there, exit 55, and you're looking eastbound. See, the sky's kind of darkening now a bit as those gusty winds pick up. You can see the tree there on the left-hand side. You know, it's blowing pretty good. A little bit harder to see the trees on the right because of the lens. It looks like some water droplets there. That was at exit 55. Let's head a little bit farther east, exit 57. Heavy rain really about to pick up for us, and then exit 58 there in Clarksville. We're a little bit quieter. You see the tree there on the right moving just a little bit. But our rain's about to come in. This is a live look from Lamar, and you're looking westbound now back towards Clarksville. Now, most of these cameras kind of focus on the road. Of course, they're from RDOT, so that's probably their main purpose, right? But we're trying to get that little sliver of sky. A little bit hard to see because there's just a lot of heavy rain. Notice how there's some yellow and orange on the map. These are just showing slower than normal conditions along I-40, anywhere from as you're crossing 164 there towards Whipponville Road. Oh, Whipperville Road. And then crossing towards 352. We also have some just slower traffic conditions, usually, you know, just lining up with where you have the heaviest rain. But now we've got a good downpour there on the west side of Clarksville. I'm going to take you back to radar. This is a wide view area. Wide here in western Arkansas and eastern Oklahoma. Severe thunderstorm warning continues, mainly for gusty winds. The rotations are not as impressive here at the moment. It looks like there's a little bit more of a notch now forming back towards the south. We'll watch that. But the notches that we had here on the north side of this bow, see kind of how I can cup it like that? On the north side, we had some rotations. Those have weakened quite a bit, and they're pushing into the Boston Mountains right now. So it honestly would get kind of tricky to see anyways. But some of these heavy rain bands are kind of colliding. You see these other little showers? Downpours, really. There's some good rain with them, some of these. But as they kind of collide with the line, they're starting to impact the line a little bit, kind of trying to weaken it a hair. Back towards the south, man, it's coming down, though, for us in Clarksville. I think I had temperatures. I was going to show you something real quick. Notice how our warmest air, not by much, but warmest air, is in Johnson County and Logan County, and that's what's helping these storms thrive here at the moment. This is a look at our hail tracker. It's over the. It actually has a 15-minute loop, but in the past 15 minutes, we haven't had hail. We had some hail there east of Waldron, kind of headed towards Blue Mountain Lake there in the recreation area and the camping grounds. But that has weakened quite a bit. I'm not even seeing it show up anymore. That's with this storm. There's only 2 lightning strikes anyways, maybe 3, maybe 3. They trimmed the severe thunderstorm warning. Johnson County, Franklin County, you're now completely in the clear. Warning has been trimmed. Now for Johnson County, we still have it activated for 7:33, the next 12 minutes. But most of the wind threat is pushing north of Clarksville. We still have some wind, closer to 30 to 40 miles per hour coming right through town. But boy, it is heavy for us. You look back west, there's not a whole lot going on in Fort Smith and Van Buren. We're doing fine. Northwest Arkansas, we just have some rain. We had some good downpours there right during the evening commute. And then, of course, we had that accident on 540 earlier. As folks are headed from Van Buren into Fort Smith, right before crossing the river, there was an accident, right where we had some of the heaviest rain. So this rain really makes an impact as we're headed out the door this evening or coming home. But more storms back off towards the west. Still a nasty one here north of Dallas, there in North Texas. We'll watch this. This could be our next round that comes in, but that wouldn't be, oh goodness, what time it says, 7:33. I mean, that wouldn't be towards even after our 10 o'clock newscast coming in. That may come in overnight. We'll watch it too. We'll see how it comes in because we're getting more rain ahead of it. So as that comes in, it may be impacted by some of the cooler air that these showers are producing. So maybe we can try to weaken this one. But right now, we still have our severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County and eastern Logan County. Notice how this National Weather Service has not expanded this yet towards the east. That may change. But for now, we just have some really gusty winds north and west of Clarksville, headed right towards Westwood, the Strawberry Bluffs, and there towards Batson, where we have some of the wind. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Normally I have my little tray, a little rolly cart, yeah, my little rolly cart. I don't have that set up right at the moment, so I have to keep stepping off the screen. But we'll zoom in a little bit more. Man, it's really good rain coming over Scranton and Shoal Creek, Subiaco, Paris. The rain's starting to lighten up for us, and Ozark, finally the rain started to lighten up for us in the past 10 minutes or so. Watalula, we're getting the rain ending for us. It's still light rain for a while, but the heavy stuff is pushing north. Batson into the mountains there towards Pitson Junction and Yale, Beech Grove and Owark, Catalpa, Ferris Springs, Gillian Settlement, Garber, Rosetta. We'll be looking out for the heavier rain. Some of this is just staying east of White Rock Mountain right now. We had that very heavy rain press right over White Rock there earlier. But man, in Clarksville, that rain's coming down for us. It's now coming in right there. Let's see, right there along Taylor Street, Montgomery Street. This is headed more towards Mill Road, Big Danger Road. I don't think we have a lot of Big Danger in Big Danger Road, but we do have some very heavy rain coming in. All right, so National Weather Service went ahead and reissued a severe thunderstorm warning just to continue to watch this storm as it presses north and east. It's not as strong as it was, but there's still some rotation right now. See these little kinks? Those are continuing. I'll show you the velocity and the shear. This shows you rotation. Looks like the rotation's picked up a little bit there in Batson. Still no tornado warning, but that one definitely has picked up just a touch. All right, coming in from the National Weather Service. As soon as that line pushes on through, they're trying to trim the severe thunderstorm warnings pretty quickly. Coming in from the National Weather Service, there are reports of power outages just east of Peter Pender, and then some more power outages just north of Coxville. Once again, 5 miles east of Peter Pender. Brittany, I don't know if there's some other crew in the newsroom. I don't know how many there are, but we've got power outages once again east of Peter Pender and 4 miles north of Coxville. So there's some gusty winds that'll happen. All the leaves are back on the trees. We've had some rain on and off the past several weeks, to be honest, so the ground's still a little bit wet. All right, severe thunderstorm warning being trimmed back on its western side. Let me pull up this. Here we go. All right, I appreciate that. Severe thunderstorm warning being trimmed. Now just for Clarksville and Batson and the Strawberry Bluffs. There towards Ludwig and Woodland, Hillcrest, wind coming in for us. The Gillian Sediment, Ferris Springs, wind picking up for us too. Let's go a little bit farther south into Logan County, where we still have some heavy rain coming in. There's a little bit of a notch there, but a lot of this, there's some rotation. Let me track this one out. This is also moving. Let's push this forward. Shoal Creek 749, Bend 759, 804 in Knoxville, 809 in Lamar Middle School, 810 towards just Lamar in general. We'll have to watch that one. If I put on the shear, you can see some rotation. This one's a little bit more broad though, coming in from Havana and Belleville. Right now our biggest threat seems to be the gusty winds in Clarksville in the Strawberry Bluffs. You see that wind pushing out there. Getting more updates from the National Weather Service. I'm kind of reading a couple things off screen here really quick. So the severe thunderstorm warning that's been extended includes Newton County and Pope County as well. Again, some amazing waterfall territory, but this one goes until 8:15. This severe thunderstorm warning for Johnson County and Logan County. I'll bring up one of these cameras. This is a live look of exit 55. See some folks flashing their lights because of the heavy rain there. Let's see if we can go a little bit farther east. Oh. Yeah, very heavy rain there towards, I think 57. Yeah, exit 57 as you're looking east into Clarksville. And then you cross 103. This is exit 58 there. And make that big sharp turn there on the right. Heavy rain coming down for us, and then back towards Lamar. Let's see what that looks like. You see how the skies are getting pretty dark there as you're looking from Lamar towards Clarksville. You kind of go up the hill just a little bit, and then we've got Clarksville there. Once again, this severe thunderstorm warning has been extended to 8:15. However, that won't be all of Johnson County. The whole county gets warned and then issued to a certain time, but then it'll be slowly dropped back off towards its south and west side. The problem with this line, though, is how kind of wavy it is. You guys see how it's not just one straight wall of water, where you got these little nooks and crannies is where we have to watch. The thing is, though, they're not too particularly sharp. Like, the angle's sharp, but everything's kind of lifting off in the same direction, so you get some rotation, but not a whole lot. So that's why you just have severe thunderstorm warnings right now and not a tornado warning. Now, these things can change scan by scan. So I think as we lift eventually north, we'll get into some of this cooler air, although not all of us have gotten a bunch of rain in north central Arkansas. So we have some untapped energy left to go. But the farther away you get from this whole low pressure system, the weaker these storms generally will get. Now, they'll have little upticks, and that's what we have to watch for, but over time, this thing should start to die out, over the course of the next 2 to 3 hours. So we're not expecting this nasty line to just rip through the rest of Arkansas, but man, we've got a lot of heavy rain right now in Clarksville. Most of the wind threat right now, Strawberry Bluff towards Batson. There in eastern Johnson County for Lamar and Knoxville, we've had these off and on downpours popping up before the main line. But the heavy rain backed off towards the west. And we're noticing this little notch, although it's starting to close in just a little bit. Kind of see how this band is moving north. This band's moving a little bit more northeast, so they're going to start to collide a little bit. We'll see how that interacts, but maybe have some small hail. We look towards the lightning to see where we could possibly have hail. Let me turn on the hail tracker. Looks like we had just barely an uptick of some of this hail. Now, this warning includes a possibility up to about penny-sized hail. It's usually not enough to do damage, but if you live in Lamar, Knoxville, you have time to pull in the garage if you got some space. Otherwise, it's right on our heels. It's coming right in. But most of the hail now is on the eastern slopes of Mount Magazine. Here's Mount Magazine. They're north of Blue Mountain Lake. But this hail packet looks like it's moving north and east. Has had a little bit of lightning with that storm too. All right, we got an update on power outages. I'm going to listen for just a second. 680 power outages in Van Buren. Less than 10 in Sebastian County, mainly the Fort Smith area, less than 10. Okay, and then less than 5 out by Outages. So it sounds like our biggest power outage threat, Casey, is Van Buren at the moment. Okay, that's it for now. Once again, over 600 power outages towards the Van Buren area. We've had some scattered power outages, and the reason why is we had some really good wind push on through. And so that can interact with, of course, some things. We have some up to 60-mile-per-hour winds right now pushing in northern Johnson County. Back towards the south a little bit, we don't really have the 60-mile-per-hour winds as much, but we've got maybe 40 to 50-mile-per-hour, so still strong. And then those extend back south towards Danville as well and Havana. And then the other part of this storm is that it has the potential to try to uptick a little bit of hail. We've had some on and off hail. We had a little pocket form in northeastern Scott County, and then as it moved into Logan County, it weakened quite a bit. And then now it's starting to come back here a little bit just on the eastern slopes of Mount Magazine, headed right towards Subiaco and Scranton. You might start to get a little bit of some of that hail too. Let's another look at our tracker. It's hard to tell with the terrain, but there's your little gray dot kind of indicating where we have some of that hail. Still a little bit of rotation there in southeastern Logan County, coming right into Scranton and Subiaco with the wind. We'll zoom in a little bit closer too. And I'll circle them. Shoal Creek in Delaware. This should maybe say just south and east of Scranton. See this rotation right here? So this thing is headed north and east towards New Blaine. I mean, right now, essentially, in the next maybe even 5 minutes at most. Delaware, 759. The Flat Rock Use Area, 803, 807. London, 808 London Elementary School. Hey, is Casey still in there, Brittany? Hey, I saw the push alert. We got President Biden speaking on the nation. Okay, all right. Of course, 5 News at 10, we'll have an update. Of course, President Biden is speaking on the shooting right now. We have to continue with our severe weather coverage due to FCC guidelines as we're watching these storms push on through. We've got what are called tornado tag possible things on our severe thunderstorm warnings, which essentially means we got a good windy storm and there's some rotation, but not enough to pull the trigger on a tornado warning. We're not saying, what we look at is an actual measurement on velocity. We're not getting towards that measurement right now. It's kind of a lower speed that's rotating. It's still some rotation, and it could spin up really quickly, but that's what we have to watch these storms. But once again, on your 5 News at 10, we'll have an update from President Biden. We'll also have more updates probably just from a lot of the national news coverage coming up later tonight. Of course, we're going to have a lot of updates from election coverage as well. It is a very busy day, and then on top of it, you got to throw on some weather. But right now, this rotation is moving north and east. Delaware, Flat Rock, and London coming here. We're time now 7:45. Maybe London closer to 8 o'clock. Looks like this severe thunderstorm warning has now been canceled for southeastern Logan County. We still have it in northeastern Logan County because of that small rotation, although it is very, very weak. Most of the rotation on the northern side of this storm is now also coming out of the warning. It's just this good gust of wind now right there towards northern Johnson County. I'll show you the shear tracker. I'll walk over here for a second. All right, let's put up the shear tracker. This is showing you rotation. A little bit there towards Shoal Creek and Delaware. It's very, very weak, guys. That's how we like to keep them. And then pretty much our rotations are gone in northern Johnson County. It's mainly just some good wind and rain now coming in for us as we push deeper into the Boston Mountains. But it looks like most of the wind has really died off on the eastern side there towards Clarksville. I think our strongest wind right now, northern Johnson County, deep in the Boston Mountains, headed north and east. The wind back towards the south, I know there's still a severe thunderstorm warning, but the wind has really dropped off for us. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to regroup. If this thing starts to spin up a little bit more, we'll let you know. But right now, it's just some steady winds headed into northern Johnson County. There in the Boston Mountains, there as you go up the foothills towards the Strawberry Bluffs. And then good old heavy rain. It's been pouring for us. This is live looking at Lamar, and you're looking back towards the west. But what you can expect the rest of this evening, we've got downpours for Johnson County, Logan County for a little bit longer. Back towards the west, though, Benton County, Washington County, Franklin County, there towards Sebastian, Crawford, Sequoia, LaFleur, and Scott counties, we're going to have off and on rain. You get a break, another downpour comes in. We'll keep our eyes back towards the west. I'm kind of re-looping some of our stuff. There we go. Back towards the west, we have even heavier rain crossing the Red River here shortly. That could give us more downpours overnight tonight. We'll track them for you. We'll keep you up today at 5 News at 10. They'll probably start to approach. They may still be, back towards Lake Eufaula, but then overnight we'll let you know what you need to know as these storms start to come in. Hopefully they weaken though a little bit as the sun continues to set, and we just have rain shower after rain shower use up the energy that we've tried to build earlier this morning and early afternoon. We appreciate your time. Keep it here. Keep it local as always. We'll keep you advised.